Okay, guys. Okay, we're live now. So
we're live. Oh,
yeah, we're live, man.
oh my God. Okay,
Welcome
hold
to
on. We always start with a selfie. Come on.
Wait, you're gonna do the
Is it
selfie
too late for me to use the
before?
bathroom?
There you go.
You're gonna do a
Let's
selfie
do it.
before I
Let's see if it
intro.
works. Take a screenshot, dude. What do you like? We're all in there.
Oh,
What's this?
I knew there would be a selfie at some point, but I didn't think it would be this early. Welcome to episode 2 of Analysts After Work. We are joined tonight by gentlemen who need no introduction, to me at least. Sabi and Steve-O. Steve, what's going on? Sabi, what's going on?
I think gentleman's a strong term for some of us.
man, I'm so looking forward to it. Thank you for giving
What,
us the
to
opportunity to be here.
You're looking forward
Yeah, man. Absolutely, buddy. It's been such a long time I haven't seen you.
It has been a long time, man. It has been a long
Yeah.
time. So before we do our catch up thing, what's everyone drinking tonight?
I assume Sabi's drinking some sort of milk, right? It's got to be like breakfast time where he is.
What do you mean? It's 5 o'clock.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ginger beer.
Ginger beer. Okay. Steve?
not bad. Got a little Jefferson's Reserved Old Rum Cask Finish.
Pardon me. All right, I'm doing some Johnny
Cheers,
Walker
buddy.
Gold Label. Cheers, boys.
Ooh.
Cheers.
Salud.
Yep.
So, boys, it's been a long time. Sabi, you said off the top, we haven't seen, when was the last time we saw each other?
Boston,
which was like early October.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Damn. It's been a long time.
Were you there in Vancouver?
I
BC?
was there in Vancouver. Yes.
I think that was the last one. I missed the Chicago one, so that could be the last one. Yeah.
But you've been killing it since then. Like you're like the international man of mystery.
Oh my God! You know,
dude,
I missed my London trip, London, Paris. I was supposed to speak over there. My flight was on March 14th. I made a decision to skip it. And I'm so glad that I made that decision.
I mean, that was the right call. Cheers to making the right call.
Yeah.
Man, tell that to my wife. She would have loved it if we had got stuck in Paris. She was like, I would love that. I was like, come on.
Oh, she was coming with you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, my family has only come with me on one trip. And it was the first time I went to Orlando. And it went something like this. So I'm speaking at a conference in Orlando. Great, we're going to Disney. Well, I don't know. I'm only speaking one day. I don't think that's a Disney trip. No, we're going to Disney. I'm like, yeah, but it's expensive, and I'm just going there for the day. I got a 1 hour thing, and then I'm coming. No, we're going to Disney. So I decided it was not a battle I was going to fight, and so we went to Disney.
Yeah.
Which was awesome, but yeah. Anyway.
Now, V, did you have kids at the time, and how old were they?
I did. I had both girls. They were 3 and 1 at the time.
Okay. Did they enjoy it, or
they loved it?
Okay.
Although, because they, my kids watch a lot of TV, and they love Disney. Like at the time, the little one's favorite character was Daisy Duck. And I have video of her meeting Daisy for the first time, and like she went in for a cuddle into like her nestled like bum of feathers, and just like didn't move for a couple minutes. She was just like in there. I was just like, oh
you're going
Daisy.
to like get her out. She's like, no, daddy.
Yeah, and I'm like, well, I mean, Daisy's her favorite, so
yeah.
But just she was like, they met all the princesses, and they loved it. I think now if we go back, it's been a few years. If we go back, they'll have a different appreciation for it.
Yeah.
But it was I get why Disney is so magical.
Okay.
It's just
Why
do you ask, Steve?
Well, trying to figure out where I'm going to be traveling the next few years. That's all there is to it, you know.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah. So, Vince, do your kids still remember the trip to Disney?
I mean, I think they remember pieces of it. We took a lot of pictures.
Yeah.
We got the picture package or whatever, where you know,
Mhm.
people can take pictures of you wherever. So you know, we have a lot of video and photo evidence that we did the trip.
Sure.
But I think they remember the stuff that we have pictures of, and not, you know, all this stuff. Because like I remember, you know, the 1-year-old at the time screaming her head off during lunch, where I took her into the kitchen. They don't remember that, but I remember taking her into the kitchen of the restaurant we were at, and you know, dude, I've never had all eyes on me, even in a keynote. I've never had all eyes on me, and I had all eyes on me in that restaurant, and it's like, and I'm looking at these people like, what do you want me to do? This kid is obviously small.
Yeah, you've seen a 1-year-old before.
It's right. It's the early afternoon, which means she's probably tired, and she's overstimulated from you know, all the stuff that's going on. So she's not napping. So what do you want me to do other than just try to comfort her?
Yeah.
So, anyways, I digress.
So you can't. Yeah. So, but you can't say that everybody's eyes are not on you during your keynote, buddy. When you make that noise, slaying dragon, come on.
It gets loud.
There's no way anybody will miss that.
It gets loud, man. But no, but you know what I mean. I'm being a bit facetious, but like I felt like all eyes were on me for that. Like the kid's crying, and I'm like, but what do you want me to do? What do you expect?
Oh, sure.
And so,
and it's a completely different experience too, right? Like, I mean, when
Absolutely.
you're keynoting, you're putting yourself out there, and you're expecting this. You know, I want this attention. I want this attention. I want this attention. You get a 1-year-old that's, you know, had a long day, needs a nap. It's like, where can I hide?
Right. So, anyways, it was awesome. I'm glad we did it, but you know, it was interesting. It'll be different the next time we go back.
Okay. So, Steve, when was the last time we met? Maybe in DC? That was
DC or Toronto? Were you in Toronto last year?
I was in Toronto. Yeah.
Yeah, so it had to be Toronto, and then that was the last conference that I did. Things got a little. There are competing priorities around this way for the second half of that year. So last time I think I saw you was Toronto, but like now's the time where I started seeing you guys, right? Because like this is about the DC time.
Yeah.
Well, we were supposed to be in Orlando next week.
Yes.
Right.
Like,
you know, and DC was scheduled for May, so you know, even if I'm not seeing you right now, but I'm texting, you know, hey, what's going on? Hey, you know, Vinny, we did a soccer game, right? Like, hey, like, you know, where are we going? Like, the conversations we would be having, and you know, now it's just kind of like, all right.
Yeah. Now the questions are, hey, do you have COVID? Do you have the Cove? Because I was looking forward to being treated to a Nationals or Capitals game, and you know, it's gonna have to be October instead, and that's or August or whatever.
DC is hot in August.
I've heard.
We'll figure out. It'll be good. It'll be great.
It's all good. I mean, whether you're at the conference or not, we will hook up. We will hook up. Yeah. But yeah, that soccer game was epic.
Soccer game was great. I had no idea how hard you guys rocked out for soccer up there. It was awesome.
Well, hey.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not every day you get to sit front row.
Front row. Oh dude, my god.
Dude, I have had Toronto FC tickets since day one. And so I must have been like one of the first 50 people to put their deposit down, because on the first day that they were doing seat selection, I got a call. Where do you want to sit? Like, I want the cheapest tickets available. And they're like, okay. Because you know, I was a relative newlywed at the time, and you know, whatever. So I'm like, I want the cheapest seats available. They're like, okay, cool. It's in the supporter section. You have to join one of the supporter groups, and there's extra stuff that goes with that. Do you want those ones? I'm like, no, put me up one level, because I don't want to have to sing and dance and look like an ass. I want that to be optional, and so. And so I was like, just put me up one level. And they're like, well, if you just go across one of the ends, it's like $100 more, but you can do whatever you want. I'm like, great, let me do that. Yeah. Let me do that one. So, yeah. But but it's a good time. It's a good time. Blast. Yeah. Anyway, so what? So Sabi.
Yes, sir.
My friend, you are killing it. As far as being out in the world. So what have you been up to since Vancouver at the end of October? How many countries have you been to?
So here's the thing, Vince. 2018, I was given a program at the city because that had failed 4 times.
Okay.
Previously, at the city, they started this program in 2008 till 2018. It had failed 4 times. So my boss in 2018 February told me, Sabi, have you ever jumped from an airplane? I was like, no. He was like, are you interested? I was like, no. So it was like, guess what? I'm assigning you to this program. And that program is City of Portland's permit system.
Okay.
It's a huge program. So he told me, go fix it, come back. So, starting, we were supposed to go live in November of 2019. And then we rescheduled it to February. So up till, October, I was busy speaking. And then I didn't accept any speaking engagements because I would have been so engaged with this program.
Right.
So all my speaking engagements were supposed to start in March. So we went live on February 10th. Thank you. Thank God.
Good for you.
That.
Good for you.
Yeah. And then everything was supposed to start. And then this COVID thing happened. So I haven't done much speaking, maybe, 3 or 4 speaking engagements. That's about it.
That's 3 or 4 more than I've done. So I went into like hibernation after Chicago. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, I knew this was coming. So I was like getting no, I had no idea.
Hey Vince, you need to give hard time to Jimmy.
Why?
You know why?
Why?
Because he saw it coming. So I was talking to him, and like first week of February, he went to a grocery store and he bought a 50-pound bag of rice.
Good for him.
And I was like, dude, you should have told me. I should have sold all my stocks and would have been in a much better shape.
Yeah. So I was afraid of what was coming.
Yeah.
And the only reason I wasn't more vocal about it at work was that I was still planning on traveling and so I was like, well, how am I going to make a big deal? I'm afraid of taking the train into work, but I'm going to get on a plane and go to a foreign country. So I couldn't do that.
You couldn't do that.
As soon as Orlando got switched or postponed, I was like, I'm not comfortable coming into work. And fortunately, I mean, I wrote the other day on a friend did a post on LinkedIn, and I'm like, this COVID-19 has done what nobody in the C-suite could do. It forced everybody to innovate rapidly.
Yeah.
And Steve-O, you can speak to the innovation piece, but like,
sure,
it forced a change in behavior, and it made me realize that all the barriers to the organizations that we are now, which is completely remote, all the barriers are artificial. They're created to maintain some semblance of order, but the reality is we could be doing this forever, and I mean, I would be okay. And that's not the case for everybody, but like from a project perspective, what? We have to go into the office once a week, twice a week?
Well,
maybe.
Sure. And there's a very real percentage of people that could do this every day, right? The number's probably not zero. But that number's probably 65, 75,
probably
80. Like I bet that number's a lot higher than what you're thinking of.
Mm-hmm.
But wouldn't it have been nice if, you know, some more of these organizations had a more structured approach to innovate, right? More structured approach to bring in new ideas and try things out on a smaller scale, as opposed to, I mean, literally building the airplane as it goes. Cool, y'all are all working from home tomorrow, and yeah, we're gonna figure it out. It's gonna be great.
But I mean, even if an organization did that, and there was a way of collecting those ideas, it's one thing to say, well, we're gonna pilot this, we're gonna try it out, and I mean, this was literally, to Sabi's earlier comment, like this was everyone was jumping out of the airplane at the same time. And you had to build your parachute. You had to stitch your parachute together on the way down.
Yeah.
Like,
and we are still doing that every single day. Right now, it's not done. You know, at City of Portland, our pipeline was, you can have, you know, at a time 250, 300 folks who can work remotely.
Sure.
That's the pipeline we were built.
Sure.
Right? That's the road which we paved. And now we have 6,500 employees, right? Who all need to work from home. How can you do that?
Right.
It's crazy right now. So in the last 3 weeks, I think it's hair on fire for technology folks just to get the infrastructure ready.
Sure.
So it's insane right now.
Yeah, and I mean, nobody saw this coming. Like, I'll take. So I made a comment at a program meeting earlier in the year where I was like, we were talking about risks, and all the risks we were talking about was like, okay, this is just work. Like, what if we can't get the right people? Well, that's work. Like, that's the work. And so I made this comment like, well, what if the zombie apocalypse breaks out? Do we have a contingency for that? And well, no, we don't, because what's the likelihood that's not going to happen? How you like me now? So, and I mean, it was half joking, but it was half like, those are the types of risks you need to plan for, because at the same time, I was making the argument that, you know, one of the biggest barriers to getting things done is securing meeting space to have a meeting. Well, if you meet in a virtual space, whether through Zoom or Teams or Skype or whatever, like, you don't need that need for a physical location evaporates. And so all of these barriers it's of our own creation. They're artificial. It's of our own creation.
So what do you guys think? You know, with everybody is back in their homes working from home, when the time comes, everything, you know, keeping my fingers crossed, normalize in the next 3 months, time to go back to the offices. Yeah. Do you think people are gonna like that?
No. Yeah? I think this has fundamentally changed the way we operate. I think, and I'll add, I think you're gonna see, as much as as concerned as we are, and you know, you guys are both joining from the States, where I think the situation is a little bit more dire than Canada. But as much as we bemoan the collapse of, you know, small business, I think you're going to see a lot of new businesses arise, and I think you're going to see a dramatic, statistically significant increase in entrepreneurship born out of this this pandemic.
Interesting.
Because I think this has now given people insight into, I can work from home and I can get things done, and why am I not doing this for myself? That's my feeling.
It's a very difficult business climate out there right now, though.
Absolutely, but coming out of this.
So you're right, and I think coming out of this, the landscape will be 100% completely different. I think you hit the nail on the head there. And you know,
good night, everyone.
You're Costanzing it.
Yeah.
That's it.
I'm gonna leave on a high note. Good night, everyone. Thank you. I'm gonna turn myself off.
Look at this guy. It just goes dark on us. Sally, what do you want to talk about now?
Disappear. Yeah, there you go.
You're right. I mean, the people that are prepared, the people that are keeping their ear to the ground, their eyes open, watching this changing landscape are going to do so much better. There is going to be a lot of market share out there right now to take advantage of. There's a lot of chum in the water. However, whatever acronym or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a tough challenge for entrepreneurs to start out because I think it's. I mean, 2 months ago. So I'm writing a report right now on the state of Maryland, right? And we've built this tool that goes out. Maryland's got they call it an open data portal, and they dump tons of data about how well the state is performing, how well the government's performing. They dump it all into this portal, and really what our bet is that the tables and the columns and the rows that they're providing aren't really what people need. People need to see that data and need it visualized. So we're building a tool to go out, grab that data on a daily basis, visualize it, and then right now I'm literally putting the finishing touches on a report that's going to go out tomorrow. That's going to try to give people an idea of what data we have and how we can kind of put it together, right? But like that, all of that data paints a rosy glow that was true 6 weeks ago.
Sure.
And I'm proofreading this report. I'm thinking like none of this is accurate anymore. Like, well, like, oh my God, like I've spent 4 weeks writing this, coming up and like making all these visualizations and polishing it off and then and now none of it's right. Like, well, this was true, but now we're not really sure what's going to happen because it's just a whole new ballgame.
So is there new data? Is there new data in there that you can extract, almost show like a time series or something?
Sure.
Say, here's where the bottom went out.
Right. Like, and that data is not there yet, but it will be. Like so one of the things that they provide is number of businesses in good standing with the state on a monthly basis. So in the next 4 or 5 days they'll be publishing March 2020. It'll be interesting to see how that compares to February 2020. And then they'll a month later they'll publish April, and we'll be able to compare, contrast, and try to see how this, as the cases have ramped up, what have businesses done. They provide data on what's going on at the port, number of containers going in, number of containers coming out, full, empty, anything along those lines. So it'll be interesting to see what some of that action is at the port as well. They provide traffic data. It'll be interesting to watch. Like all of a sudden, the roads just get clear, and there's just no traffic jams. People's commutes are going from 45 minutes to like 15. So we'll be able to see some of that stuff. It's just not quite there yet. So it's coming.
And you're making an actual like physical report, or like because where I went to was you could just build this into a website that you then update on a monthly basis, and then it's a living report.
And we've done that too.
Okay.
But what I need is I need something.
We haven't talked in a while. I didn't know that.
We haven't talked. I know. It's like my wife's pregnant or something. That's not. It's just not fair. But
Mazel tov.
We're trying to think, man. Pretty stoked. That should be baby girl should be coming in about 6 days right now. So
there you go. Okay. All right. Hey, there we go. We're talking about it. There we go. Hopefully.
Yeah. The hope is the report's going to be a way to get people interested in the data.
Gotcha.
So if you build it while they come, like I don't really know how else to do that. If you guys have ideas, like I got 4/5 of a bottle of bourbon. Let's start here.
Gotcha. Well, I can't get across the border, but I appreciate the offer. That was a good pop. That the sound of the cork coming out, that was like movie quality.
Boy, this is like I said, this is one of those bottles you're about to have a kid. Like here's a good bottle of bourbon to enjoy when the baby's screaming at like 2 a.m.
For sure. For sure. 2 a.m. if you're lucky, buddy. 2 a.m. if you're lucky. Like kid 2 would scream until 4 or 5 a.m. and then conk out and like, okay, thanks kid. So I'm off to work. Like, but that's all right. It will color your life with a joyous glow.
He's
More
speechless.
excited.
He's
Yeah.
speechless.
I'm just dropping words on you here. No, dude.
Like,
And you know what? Girls are awesome.
Yeah.
Girls are awesome.
I love them, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, girls they're a blessing.
Yes, they are.
Blessing.
Yes, they are.
I'm so lucky to have.
Yes.
Sabi, remind me, kids?
2.
Okay.
2 teenagers, 16 and 13.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, awesome.
Does it get better?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Because like you can just say go do that instead of having to
do that. Yeah.
I feel like I'm a clown sometimes. Like I've said to my girls, like do you think that I'm like a circus clown and that my job is like Joe Pesci? Like am I a clown here to amuse you? Like I'm just here for your enjoyment? And they have confidently answered, yes. Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Like, yes, you're here to keep me entertained. So dance, monkey, dance. Like
ooh.
But like okay, so it doesn't get better. Okay. Or it does get better. Cuz
it does get better.
But the problems are probably different.
Problems are different.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll talking about
you need to make them you need to make them independent, buddy.
I'm working.
You do it, the better.
I'm working on it, but every once in a while they get sucky. It's like you're 3. I keep telling them if you guys were birds, you would have your own families by now. Like stop asking me for stuff.
Fix your own grilled cheese.
Like honest, make your own. Make me a grilled cheese. No.
That's the reason they love you, buddy.
No, I know.
You make these kind of jokes, man.
They
love you for that.
They have said Daddy is funny. Daddy is funny. So which doesn't help. Which doesn't help to dispel the I'm a clown thing. Yeah. Anyways.
I give a serious look, buddy. I don't laugh at them much.
No?
Be serious.
Oh yeah?
You need to give them.
And that's been your approach is being serious or?
It's a combination.
Okay.
But more serious.
Okay.
And funny as well. But when it's time to be serious, you have to be serious.
Gotcha. Yeah. We're trying to get that instilled in the one that's in school where it's like, okay, you come home and she's in kindergarten. She doesn't have homework, but like you have to do your printing or you've got to do your reading or you've got to do like you have to do that before you can play. 'Cause I mean, not that there's a comparison, but when I was a kid, I came home and I did my homework because I wanted to go play street hockey. Because if you're a kid in Canada, you have to play street hockey. And so it's like, but
in India,
it's cricket.
Go ahead. You got it, buddy.
I know.
You got it.
I know. I've seen it. My neighbor, when I first got married, we lived in a townhouse, and my neighbors were from India, and they would play cricket on the street. I mean, it was in a townhouse, so it wasn't like there was a ton of traffic, but they would go out with their wickets and their bat and their ball and like.
Yeah.
I don't know how many windows they broke, but they broke none of mine, and that was fine. But anyways, I knew that. My point is like I knew that, so I had this sense of responsibility of like I need to do this so that I can do something that I enjoy, and I'm having a hard time with that one because they just want to play.
So when does that start though?
I don't know. I think it's always been the case. So maybe I need to channel a little Sabi and be a little bit more serious, and maybe I'll let you know how that goes.
Yeah, try it out, buddy. Give them that hard look, man. Just don't laugh after you give that look because you're gonna laugh. I know that for sure.
Oh no, I can go stone face.
Oh, there you go, buddy. You need to do that.
Like I've convinced them that Daddy's not ticklish. Because when they tickle me, I don't laugh. Stone face. Stone. I actually don't know if I'm ticklish anymore because it's just stone.
You have practiced so much that it doesn't affect you anymore.
Maybe. Anyways.
I'm taking a note. See if I can tickle Vince when he comes to DC. Got it.
Well, I mean, so the thing with that is, like, I like my kids. I don't really like other people's kids. I like yeah, I could take you or leave you. My kids, lovely. I like smother them with love. Other people's kids, meh.
So how old are your girls now, Vince?
3 and 5.
3 and 5.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So, yeah, they're old enough to have attitude, but young enough to still be sweet and cute while they do it.
Yeah.
So it's like, and they know. I think they also know Daddy's a sucker. So more than the stone face thing, like, this is the thing to really, Steve, don't be a sucker. Like, don't be a sucker.
There is 0% chance that I can pull that off.
Yeah.
I know my limitations.
You're gonna be a sucker? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I could see that.
Yeah.
You're gonna be a sucker.
Yeah. I know my limitations.
Meanwhile, we got hard ass Savvy over here. Like, can I have some ice cream, Dad? No.
Yeah.
No.
What
have you done to earn that ice cream?
There you go, buddy. You got it.
I'm thinking the baby will come out. We'll nourish her for like a couple of years, and then I'll just send her off to boarding school at Savi's house.
Yeah, that's where she'll learn the harsh realities of life.
Yeah. I'll hold her hand on the airplane as she gets on and off, drop her off at Savi's, then like he'll send her back on her with her own ticket and be like, I don't know, Dad, I figured it out on my own.
Yeah. Where'd you get that luggage? I bought it. I'm independent.
You're 4.
I was gonna say, like, I'm 8 now. I figured it was time to be independent, but yeah, 4, even better. Oh my God! Awesome. So, what else, boys? What's going on? What are you most looking forward to this year, with everything from a speaking perspective, at least, pushed down into the fall? Like, I'm basically gonna have my entire year of speaking engagements from August until the early December, like in a 4-month period. Like, what are you looking forward to?
I think one thing which I'm doing is I'm pivoting to doing more virtual.
I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah. So my very first one is coming up mid-April.
Yes.
And then that's for Peoria, Illinois. I'm doing one virtual. I'm gonna give it a shot and see how it goes. Okay.
And plug. So
absolutely.
For who are you doing this webinar for?
It's PMI Central Illinois chapters.
PIC. And that's on the 14th, if I'm not mistaken.
14th.
Right.
Yes.
Right. And what are you talking about?
I'm talking about DevOps.
Ooh. That's so sexy right now.
It is super sexy right now. It's a hot word. So it's interesting that about a year and a half ago, there was this ITSM training for the leadership at the city of Oakland. And there was this trainer came in, and the whole day what he did was he played games, basically. It's called, and you learn about ITSM. I was like, man, this is the way to learn, right? You do it with your own hands. You have fun, you're doing exercises, you're moving around, and your day is over and you learn so much. And I said, okay, who's the vendor who built this game? So this company is based in England, G2G3. So I gave them a call. I said, hey, do you have anything for project management? Right? I would love to do something like that, train on that. And they said, yeah, we have been doing this training, but that market is saturated. But here's the new thing. It's called DevOps. Why don't you become a trainer on DevOps? And man, that is such a buzzword right now. And it is actually adds a lot of value. So I actually flew to Philadelphia and became a trainer. And
there you go.
Pretty cool. Yeah.
That's awesome. I not the same thing, but similarly, I did I became a certified facilitator of Lego Serious Play.
Yeah, tell me
And
more
it's the
about it,
same,
buddy.
and it's the same idea, right? Like it's
Yeah.
learning through play, because when you get your hands involved and you're moving around and you're being tactile, it unlocks a part of your brain that you wouldn't use otherwise, because you either suppress it or you're trying to be too logical, and it's just like, just get your hands on the bricks and do stuff. So like it sounds almost similar, right? Like this, let's just play and learn through play.
Right.
That's awesome.
So yeah, it's called, scientifically it's called experiential learning.
Right.
So you're right. So the science says if you attend a particular workshop, at the end of the day, just a regular workshop, at the end of the day, your retention rate, can you guess what that is?
It's low. It's like 20% or 20%, 25%.
Yeah, it's a 10 to 15%.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you do experiential learning, doing it with your own hands, do you know the retention rate?
I'm gonna just, you know what, I guessed. Steve, you wanna take a stab at this one?
I won't say this one's going to be 40-45%.
I'm gonna go 70 or 80. All right, there we go.
85%, buddy. 85%.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's the way to do it. It's all about creating that experience. So kudos to you, buddy. And Steve, if you find something, or if you want to become a trainer, I will highly encourage you, buddy. Find something where you can give that opportunity to those folks, where they can do it on your own hands, and it's fun. And they're gonna learn it, and they're gonna love you forever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So are your trainings going more for like the online, management online now? Because DevSecOps is allows you to do that, right? There's a lot of, you don't have to be physically in the building. You can push new builds, you can push whatever from the comfort of your own office. So are you slanting your talks now to be about this new Corona environment, or was that already kind of worked in anyway, just because of the nature of the course?
Yeah, the goal is that, more online, more remote, and doing all that. But the training can't be done online. You have to be physically there. You have to work and rub shoulders with other folks, because it's not about tools and technology. It's about culture. It's about people.
Sure.
And that's where they learn the most. So that's my biggest challenge, is how I'm gonna pivot the training. Speaking I can do virtually, but the training part, it will be tough.
But you can use this time to create new content. Like that's where I'm at now. No. Like trying to build in to create new content, that, because I agree with you 1,000%.
Yeah.
Like I can't tell you how many times people have asked me to do like Lean Six Sigma training or Lean training or whatever, BA training, and they want me to do it virtually. And it's like, I mean, I can, but I need, like, I feel better being in the room with people, because if you're in a virtual environment, it's easy for me to like shut my camera and just like be on my phone and I'm listening. Yeah, I'm listening. Right. Whereas if I'm in a room with you, and I've told all my students this, it's almost like a Jedi sense. Like if I ask like, what questions are in the room, I will look at the person or in their vicinity of like, I know there's a question out here and I feel it coming from over there.
Yeah.
And I tell them this at the beginning of the day, and they're like, yeah, okay, whatever. And then I'll do it. And they'll be like, it blows minds, because like you were looking at me and the person next to me had a question. It was like, but you need that face-to-face to be able to determine, are they getting it? Like, am I getting through, or are they just here to like tick a box? Right. And I think, and so I'm using this time to create some new programs that I'm trying to make as experiential as possible. But it's hard, especially without testing it out. But like that's rather than speaking, that's what I've been working on. So, but you do you.
Yeah, the challenge for me is, previously when I was in the office, most of my work was interacting with folks, meetings, and doing all that. I was spending very less time in front of computer, right?
Right.
So I would come back in the evening, come back home in the evening and I'll spend 2 hours productive time in front of the computer, right?
Right.
That's where I was doing. Right now, like all the time I'm doing is in front of the computer.
Right.
I'm like exhausted by evening and I have no energy to work on it's different.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I actually read, and this might help. I read something last week on why this has had, like, why you feel tired and why you're exhausted, and it basically comes down to your body is shutting down because it doesn't know what to do. Your nervous system has two responses, right? Fight or flight.
Yeah.
Well, you can't fight a virus, and you're stuck in your house, so you can't run away. So what alternative is there, right? And so you're caught in this limbo of like your body doesn't know what to do because you can't leave your house, but you know if something happens, like knock on wood, if you get it, like you gotta fight it, but you can't physically like attack, which I thought was pretty interesting. It was an interesting take.
Interesting.
Huh. Yeah. Well,
so what's the solution? What's the solution?
So the solution basically was just acknowledge that you're not going to have the same level of productivity that you would have if people were in the office.
That's right. Yeah.
Right? Like don't expect people to be at their computer for 8 hours a day. Yeah. That's not reasonable.
Yeah.
So.
Right. Yeah. So do you guys find yourself managing, because you both manage people, are you managing more towards like milestones now? Are you trying to like break down the work tasks a little bit more so you can kind of see as boxes get checked, or like are you trusting your employees, or do you notice a difference in your managerial skills or styles?
Yes, trusting, but no. So yeah, no. So in the day job, there's been a bit of we're a bit in flux with the program that I'm working on. So. Sort of, it's going to be all hands on deck as far as moving into supporting the operational team and making sure that work still gets done. And so the transformational work that I was doing is not going to be on hold, but rather it's going to be working on projects that support the operational area while still advancing the needle along the transformation pathway. So it's different, but it's the same, but it's different.
Gotcha.
Right. So but I mean, just from a people perspective, I'm not gonna hold, like, I mean, we're gonna have milestones, we're gonna have targets, but the work will get done.
Right.
But I don't know. Sabi, what about you? What do you think?
So I moved into a new role as of this Monday.
Congratulations.
Jeez. I finished.
There you go, buddy. So right now, what I have is I'm a business solutions division manager. So I have a team of now 50 folks in my division. And I have like 3 senior managers, and then everybody else is, software developers, application architects, web developers, and so on. Mm-hmm. So I'm, in this chaotic time, I'm just trying to know the team. So this week was the very first week when I'm doing my one-on-ones with my direct reports. And also, sent an introductory email to the whole team saying, this is who I am, and, love to meet all of you virtually, and setting up some virtual time, because it's time of chaos and time of so much fear. And with so much layoff going on, people are feeling, that
anxiety.
What's anxiety? Yeah. What's going to happen to my job? Like here locally, another public sector entity, they laid off 40% of their employees.
Wow.
Last Friday. Yeah. So it's bleeding time right now here, where everything is stopped, because here at the city, most of our budget comes from lodging tax, right? From hotels and everything. Zero, right? We get gas tax. People are not driving. That's why driving is slow. We have a Bureau of Parks and Recreation. They were already struggling, and all the community center and parks are closed. So they're not getting any funding. So one of another bureau, they used to get funding from construction. Construction is slowed down. So it's a big impact right now. So everybody's just a little bit more cautious and more, anxiety level is high. Like, what's going to happen to my job? So I'm trying to calm that down a little bit.
How is Oregon on the breakout scale? I hear a lot about Washington. I don't hear so much about Oregon.
I think, the latest data which I saw today was that if we keep the current status of social distancing, we will be able to flatten the curve. So it's okay. I think right now we have 8 or 10 deaths and about 500 to 600 cases.
Right.
In the state.
In the state.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's not bad actually, which is considering what's going on everywhere.
Yeah.
Especially compared to New York and your side, East Coast, Steve. It's bloodbath in New York right now. It's scary.
Sure.
Yeah. And it's an exponential curve too, so it's fine, and all of a sudden, it skyrockets
Right.
What happened there?
Right. Well, I mean, you have to think if everyone infects 2 people, and then those people infect 2 people, of course it's going to be exponential. It's going to explode, and that's the point to this. That's the point to this physical distancing, right? Like, it's just stay in your house. If you get it, there's only so many people that you can give it to, and then as long as everyone there stays there, you'll be okay.
Right.
Again, knock on wood.
Yeah.
Knock on wood. Right.
How's Toronto?
How's
the Toronto cases?
Toronto. Sorry,
I
I heard something else, and I didn't want to answer it because I thought you were asking how your head of state was doing, and I didn't want to answer that question.
No, I know the answer to that question. You don't need to answer that.
No, because I still do want to travel. So, Toronto's okay. The last number I saw was Toronto had close to 1,000 cases, with I think it was 30 deaths. The majority, so Quebec, oddly enough, has the highest number of cases in Canada, and despite the fact that Ontario is the most populous. So, but you know what? I have to say, I think we have handled it well. The premier went out yesterday and said, if things don't change, we're on the same trajectory as Italy and Spain. I don't know that that's true. I don't know if he's just trying to make sure people take it seriously because that's happening. Right. But I have to say, and I've said this to a few folks, I disagree with the premier, Doug Ford, which would be like the governor, on policy things. But he has handled this really, really well. And so similar to, I guess, the most visible governor, Andrew Cuomo, he has risen to the challenge and really been a leader, reassuring, but also honest. So, I think we aren't going to have the same ending that you guys have, but it's not going to be we'll probably still be close to 1,000, 2,000 deaths, which sucks, but it won't be I think the conservative number I saw was 250,000 in the States. That's
they're saying 140 to 250,
something like that. Yeah. And that's sad. So you guys have 10 times the population, but you'll have maybe 100 times the number of deaths, and so that's obviously not a good thing. But the thing is, and this is why I wanted to do this stuff, is just to chat with people. There's no reason why we can't all still chat and talk and stuff, because we're all in this together. We're all in the same boat. It's not like there's one country out there partying while the rest of us suffer. We're all in this together. And so, You just gotta stay in the house for. I saw a thing online a couple weeks ago where it was like, our grandparents were called to war. You have been called to sit on the couch and watch Netflix. Like, you can do this.
Yeah.
Go
screw this up.
Like, we're gonna, like, I sit at home anyway. So like, unless I'm at a conference, I'm at home in t-shirt and jogging pants. Like, and even then, if I'm at a conference, I'm just upgrading from jogging pants to jeans. But like we can do this. We just have to like take it seriously.
Yeah.
So
Vince, do you have like shelter in place kind of thing where you can't go out, or
no,
you are not supposed to go out? Okay.
Well, so it hasn't been shelter in place. It has been advised, but it's not an enforced thing. They have said if we don't start to see a dip in the curve, then they may enforce that.
Yeah.
But right now, like, it's still you can go out. It is illegal now to have an event of more than 5 people, which is yeah. And it was funny when it was announced. I'm like, what if you have 6 people in your family? Like, you have to pick one to leave, and they're like, this will not apply to families and with families with more than five members and whatever. So it was like, but that was my first thought was, well, what if you have, because I mean, I have 3 sisters, so there were 6 of us. Yeah. So, and I know who would have been the odd person out. So
go be a man, survive on your own.
Yeah, you're 12. You're 12. What do you want to play street hockey all day? Go get a job. Like,
hunt for your food. Let's go.
Yeah, hunt for your food. Exactly. So we haven't had shelter in place, but I mean we have been doing it anyway. Everyone I know, like, the streets are empty. I actually had to drive down to the office to pick something up last week, and I don't think I took a breath the whole way down. I was like just anxious of going out into the world. And so I think there's going to be a need for support when it is time to go back. But I mean, I got down to the office in half an hour. I was there for 10 minutes, and then I got back home, and the streets were empty. Empty. Yeah. Which for downtown Toronto is unheard of. So, anyways.
They put the shelter in place in here on Monday. So before it was, we'd really rather you stay home.
Right.
You probably should stay home. It's good for all of us if you stay home. Please stay home. Please stay home. And then Monday was, if you leave, it's going to cost you 5 G's and you can go to jail for a year.
Right.
So
right. Oh, well, sure. but that's worked in Italy. So they've put laws in place where if you're caught out and you're not doing something essential, you can be, if you're proven to have passed on as a result of being out, you can be charged with murder.
Oh,
like,
wow.
How is that for an incentive to stay where you are?
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
So
that's serious, man. That's serious.
Right? Yeah. I mean, I don't know how they would prove that, but the threat is there. Yeah. So, it's amazing. But like, this is what I'm saying. So sit at home. Now, Steve, you've got other things. So, like, do what you need to do, right?
I'm gonna have a baby right in the middle of the crisis. I mean, that's what's going on. Governor's telling us we're gonna look like New York in 2 weeks. Come Easter, we're gonna look like New York, and our due date's the 8th. So let's find out what happens. It'll be fun.
But you'll go. The thing will happen, and you get back home.
And we get back home.
And then you go out when you need diapers or Amazon, like, whatever.
Yeah. And we have great stories.
Right.
Yeah.
People are telling us we should name baby Corona. We haven't settled on a name, so they're like, not naming my girl after a beer. What?
I mean, look, you do you. Please don't do that. Don't scar your child for life.
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
Awesome. That's awesome.
The one thing which I really feel sad is about India right now. Because
they went straight into lockdown.
Total curfew. Like, you can't get out, buddy.
Yeah.
And that's the only way to do it, because there's a lot of poverty there. And if it goes out, in India, there is not enough hospitals and beds to take care of that much population. It's going to be crazy.
It's 1/6 of the world's population. Like, talk about exponential growth. Like,
yeah.
So, I mean, for them to go into lockdown, one case, lockdown.
Yeah.
Smart move. Smart move. Smart move.
Yeah.
Says the guy who doesn't live there.
I'm getting.
It doesn't affect me. You guys go to lockdown. That's fine.
Yeah. If 1.3 billion Indians want to go into lockdown, yeah, that's fine. I think that's a great idea. You know what? Good call, Modi. Good call. Like.
Yeah.
No,
do you think the government's like? Do you think they're taking this time to like fix potholes and like do other stuff? Like, hey, there's no one on the street. Like, we're not going to cause any traffic.
You know what?
I've got a honey-do list.
That would be a great idea. I don't know, but I don't know. I've been out for that one moment, and I don't remember. I remember leaving my house and then arriving at the office, but I don't remember everything in between.
So Maryland's got about 20 minutes north of me. There's it's called the Chesapeake Bay Bridge, and it's the main road that we Marylanders take as we go to like the beaches. So the beaches are an hour and a half, 2 hours away, something along those lines. And you the first step is to get across this bridge and on the other side. And they locked down. It is a 6-lane bridge, 3 east, 3 west. And they locked down the far right lane going westbound because it was beyond repair. So the governor came out today and he was like, well, we do have some good news. The bridge is fixed. We're expecting this to take well until the next summer. Like kudos, man! Like you got it ahead of schedule when nobody
take advantage. Take advantage of the time. Like,
yeah, what else we got going on, man? We gonna sweep up a park or what? Like, let's go.
But this comes back to what now we're doing at a different scale. But this is what we were talking about earlier. Like, how are you using this time? So you're going to create some new material. I've got a couple keynotes that I'm working on, a couple workshops that I'm working on. I'm working on my book, and I'm totally unmotivated, and I'm working on all that stuff. Like, I'm just, again, I'm in that fight or flight. Like, I don't know what to do. So I'm not in a. Plus, I'm working during the day. So, but I'm using this time to create new stuff because I don't want to come out of this with nothing. I want to have like in book number 2, I want to be able to say acknowledgements. COVID-19. Without you, I wouldn't have finished this book this year. Like,
so do you think part of the challenge that you have right now? This bumped to COVID-19.
Wait. So I just want to point out, Steve, you asked me what prep you needed for this. Is this not the most ridiculous hour that you've spent?
That was the prep. You're right.
So like this is it.
That's it. I can go on for days.
Yeah. Well, we could. We've got 90 seconds left. But because I don't want to steal all your whole evening, but
this was fun.
Sabi, you probably want to have dinner.
So that's true, sir. Yes.
Yeah. So you got about 30 seconds each. Anything you want to plug or anything you want to talk about while we're still live? Yeah. Steve, we'll start with you, buddy.
Cool. We're doing some fun things with an organization called the International Association of Innovation Professionals. They are trying to standardize what we've been talking about, or what I've been talking about the last 3 or 4 years, which is this approach to innovation management. So the IAOIP is working with the International Organization of Standardization, or better known as ISO. You're probably familiar with ISO 9001 for quality assurance, right?
Yeah.
So they recently published ISO 56000. So one of the things that was fun before all this happened was we were getting engaged on the international community with some of that stuff. So my business partner was down in Florida in September, duking it out with some of the constituents from around the globe. and they actually got the first 4 standards published down there, so that was fun. He was actually getting ready to head back out to Paris about a month from now to go duke out with them again. Sadly, that's kind of it's not on hold, but it's kind of up in the air, right? How they're going to pivot and still push this thing forward. But it's really been, we've really enjoyed getting involved with this international group, and it's nice to see that they're taking this stance, right? And they're starting to say, hey, you know what, as a company, if you want to take innovation seriously, here are the steps, here are the terms and definitions, here are the measurements that you need to worry about. So there's going to be more to come from that. But if you're looking to get involved, or if you're looking to track that, reach out to me, and I'm sure Vinny will put my email address out there.
Well, why don't you just say what's the best place for people to reach you, Steve-O?
Sure. So you can always go to our website. It's everevolving.biz. And then I am Steve at everevolving.biz. So reach out. We'll keep you engaged with what's going on. But look for some more to come there. It's gonna be
fun. You are my guy when it comes to innovation management. So whenever anybody asks that, I'm like, let me try to help you, because I don't want to send you to the expert, Steve. No. So, and Sabi, what's up with you,
buddy? In this chaotic time, all I'm gonna say is just be kind to yourself. Be kind to everybody else around you.
Good message.
Spend some time with your family, your loved ones. This is the time when you realize what's important in your life.
Yes.
So that's all I'm gonna say. And thank you, Vince. This was a great 1 hour I spent. We need to do this more often, buddy.
Oh,
I really enjoyed it.
This is now the 2nd episode, and I'm having a good time. I had Jamie Champagne and Jennifer Batten on last week.
Right.
I think I'm going to have Hans on next week, Hans Ekman next week. I'm going to have to at some point get Bob on, and then Bob Prentice, and then go through. I think that even though it's called Analysts After Work, like, first of all, we're all analysts,
right?
Whether in title or not. But it's like, how much did we actually talk about work?
Yeah.
And I think this just gives a view of who we are, and so there's going to be more of these, and so we are going to have, you're all going to be back on, and Sabi, I'm going to talk to Jimmy and get him on the show so that he can claim that he knew about this when he bought his 50-pound bag.
There you go. Here's the thing. When you get him, put him as well. I'm gonna give him such a hard time.
All right, cool.
He deserves it.
All right, boys. That's it. I'm gonna end the broadcast. But thank you for those that are following along. Thanks for checking in with the Analysts After Work with myself, Vince, Steve Palmer, and Sabi Warwick. See ya next time.
See you guys. Thank you.
See you guys.